Picture in picture here. All right. So I'm going to, we are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Welcome, everybody, to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and Facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Really appreciate everybody being here today. We have got a special show, which I think you can already tell, because normally it's just me in a corner, but we have other guests here. So I want to say hello to the fine folks from Maze Arcana, twitch.tv/Maze Arcana. We have got Satine and Rudy with us. Thank you, too, for joining me. All the way in California. I'm sorry to say I made you get up on a early morning California time.
It's
but
so
hey,
early.
It's lunch here, theoretically. So.
Theoretically.
Yeah. All right, so let's just start off by asking the most important question. If you were a Warforged, what kind of Warforged would you be? I'm going to go with Warforged Titan. Yes, I would not fit in an elevator very well, but I would have, you know, I'd be big. I could crush my enemies. Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
Of course. Ah, damn. I've never had. I really like the bronzewood one that Lucky is. I think that's a really cool design in my head.
So would you be like maybe you'd prefer to be like a skirmisher, like something that's out like scouting about, coming back with? Yeah. I can see that. Lucky in our game, Lucky is a former pilot. Well, I guess he would be like the wizard if we were talking Maverick kind of goose. He would have been the goose of his airship. We made smaller Mephit-class airships that he could zoom around in and escort larger frigates and whatnot.
Nice.
I would be a Psyforge artificer.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so for those who maybe haven't yet discovered Maze Arcana, let's actually back up a little bit here and talk about what is your show, what do you do, and how can people find it?
Everything was perfect up until we went live.
Yeah. Pretty the way it always goes, right? So.
Yeah. Cool.
You should be okay now, though. Hopefully you can hear me. I just wanted to ask real quick, so for those who haven't yet discovered your show, what is Maze Arcana, and where can they find out more about you?
Twitch.tv/Maze Arcana. We are a live streaming D&D group, and we're the only ones, I think, allowed to stream Eberron, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think besides you guys doing D&D online, we actually have the only officially licensed Eberron stream, and we run in 5e. So Keith Baker and myself, and with a little bit of help from some of the guys there in corporate over at WotC, basically tuned up everything in Eberron to 5th edition, and that's how we run the game.
Rudy makes all the subclasses. He made my Kalashtar Scion.
Yeah, I tuned up the we call our artificers Arcaneers because they, at the time when we started, hadn't gotten there, and they were like, well, we're working on it, so you guys, just call it something different for the time being, just in case it's much different. And mine's an entire class with a bunch of subclasses, well, 3. And Keith was pretty happy with that one.
Nice. Yeah, man, I love Eberron.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's like, I don't know. I love Droam, so...
Yeah, and we were able to tune...
I like Droam, too. The one time I set a pen and paper session in Droam, the party I was in decided, hey, can we be a monster party? And I foolishly said yes. At which point they... Well, it was fine until, rather than save the village, they decided to take over the village and then raise it to the ground. So you know how that goes.
You do that anyway, whether you're monsters or not.
That's true.
So that's how I met Keith Baker in like 2008. I met him when I was doing the web series I Hit It With My Axe through Zach. And he's like, you need to meet my friend Keith. He's great. And also he's going to run a game. And it was my first time playing Eberron. And it was all monsters. And I was like, yes. Forever this, forever and ever this. So Keith and I
Losing you just a bit. Unfortunately.
I just joined last year as a producer and dungeon master. So we play an adventure that Keith makes, but the different dungeon masters like Matt Mercer and Rudy, they'll play the same adventure, but in a totally different way, and then get a different feel and a different story. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matt wasn't able to do it with us last year for I feel like it was Burning Man weekend or something like that.
It was something.
But I ended up having to run all 3 of the Eberron modules, and so we didn't use the same one. We used the one that he had done a couple of years before for 4th edition, and then the one that he had done a couple of years before for 3.5. And I was
nice.
updating them to 5e as we were playing, just doing it and just running with it, which kind of says a lot about 5e. I think that you can just kind of oh, okay, no swift action, so we're just gonna move into this.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Rudy, my new best friend.
Yeah.
You want to do a thing?
I always want to do things.
So a pen and paper live stream, you can find it Sundays starting at noon Pacific time. That is 3 p.m. Eastern time for those of us on the East Coast. And it happens every Sunday, and you just celebrated your 1-year anniversary this past Sunday there. So that was congratulations on that, by the way. Very, very awesome.
You.
Arcaniversary.
Arcaniversary. Okay. Gotcha. So what... Orphan Echo. Can you explain the name? What is Orphan Echo?
Well, they ended up coming up with that. For a long time, that stream started out to be just Maze Arcana, and it didn't have a subheading or its own title. We just kind of launched it because it was our flagship show. So they all at one point go, hey, wait a minute, we're basically all orphans, right? She's an orphan for the most part. She was adopted flat out. Tabris, her character, left. She was one of the Templar sides of the Silver Flame. She was one of the assassins, and she got turned into. We kind of played with the idea of shifters, with the mechanic of having lycanthropy kind of frozen in the stream.
She tried to kill me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, she got bit, and if I save her, maybe she'll try to not kill me.
Nice.
So she became basically an orphan because she had left her family to be a part of the church, and then the church basically turned their back on her. And then
Fortunately, I'm kind of losing you, but you know what I'm going to do real quick, just so that to maybe hopefully solve this problem. I'm going to drop the Skype call and give you guys another call real quick. See if we can route around whatever internet connection is causing our problems here today, okay? So just one quick second. Wait just a second, peeps. We're going to see if we can get a better connection going here with them. I will talk a little bit about Lamonia here after this interview. That sounds promising.
Can you see us now?
I can. Excellent. Excellent, everyone. All right, thank you very much. Hopefully this will solve our little internet problems. We're so spoiled, right? I mean, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I can see the chat now. Hi,
yeah,
chat.
Great. Excellent.
It's got to go to space. God, why is it taking so long?
You know, I saw something in there. They said something about us doing voices.
Oh yeah, no, we do. We are voice actors. Well, I guess
I do a Kalashtar.
Yeah, she gets there. She gets there. Well, I'm just saying, like you're new to voice acting. I've been doing some different voice acting for some movies and stuff before, but yeah, we did notice somebody said that because we were like, ah, crap, what's going on here? Oh, look, we'll just pull up the stream and see how it's going on there.
Do you feel like dropping a hint? What, like if we want to see your voice acting, hear your voice acting, where could we hear it?
Well, if you, I guess, wanted to just kind of see me in things, I was in Argo. I had an episode on a show called Baby Daddy, but I do a lot of voice acting in movies where I end up dubbing a lot of stars' voices.
That's a term.
Nice.
Looping?
Looping is what we call a lot of that. And so I've done, I did a movie called Fury. I did a movie called The Wall.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately I took all of his time to make Maze Arcana this year.
Yeah, I think The Wall was the last. I flew to New York midsummer or something like that to go do that one, and then it's been a little bit since I've had any time. I've had to turn down a bunch of gigs.
Sure.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, Maze Arcana has, like we just said, celebrated your anniversary, your Arcaniversary, your 1-year Arcaniversary here this past Sunday. How did it come about that you started, deciding to do a pen and paper tabletop live stream, and how did you make that sort of launch off the ground to the success that you have?
Well, I hit it with my axe in 2010, so I had already gotten the taste for blood of recording a game, and then through the Celebrity Charity 20 over the last 7 years, we attempted live streaming. So in 2010, the first game that we did was 4 different tables with 4 cameras, and I was like, yeah, we'll stream it. We'll stream 4 videos to 1 page, bad idea, and we'll have everybody in the same room, bad idea, with little mics on the tables, super bad idea. But over the last 7 years, technology has gotten pretty cool and made it so that we can all do this. And with Critical Role and all the podcast stuff that was going on over at Meltdown, I was like, boy, it'd be really nice to do something like this again. And then from above, a light came down, and Dungeons & Dragons came down to Meltdown.
Oh, nice.
And I think it was a Forest Grey launch.
It was.
And Chris Lindsay was running a game, and my friend's like, you need to play in this game. And so I played the first one, and then he kept going, and Rudy sat down on the other side, and we were the only 2 people actually role-playing, and then working with our characters together. And I was like, that's cool. You are fun. Let's do more things together. And then we had some meetings, and we're like, what about if we did this? And pretty much since the day we met, it's just been creating this madness, which is Maze Arcana. And it took us, 5 months to go through the licensing, and
it took a little while to get through that. Yeah. June to August. August.
That's not that bad, actually.
September, because we went up. PAX we got our license on PAX.
Yeah, it was the last week of August, first of September,
something like that.
But yeah, it was really exciting. So it kind of just it's zing,
right?
We're doing this thing.
And we've been. I was in. I think I even beta tested DDO back in the day.
Nice.
Back when I was doing a lot of game testing. And then our Paladin also he wasn't a beta tester, but he bought it at launch. And so when he found out that we were going to be doing more stuff with you guys, he was like, what? And he pulled out his, he has the copy, and he's got
nice.
It down, and he's just like, yeah, let's do this thing. So we're really excited to be streaming not only our Eberron game, but to get some DDO time in there. And we're really excited about you guys coming in and getting to play with us. We're going to be on Kyber for the most part. We're all rolling up new characters. Yeah.
Yep. That's actually the next section here. I was going to transition slightly to some DDO talk. You are playing the game right now. You are on Kyber. I don't, if you put your name out there, remember everyone's going to know what the character name is, so I don't know whether you want to do that or not, but yeah.
Well, I'll say it.
Okay.
I'm Vine Circuitry. I'm playing, what am I playing? Arcana. I didn't make a Warforged this time.
You didn't make a Warforged. You made an elf artificer.
Not an Arcaneer.
Not an Arcaneer. Ours are Arcaneers.
Artificer, yes.
Yeah.
So, level 2 on Kyber, my name is VIYINE or something similar. I really don't. I had to spell it weird because somebody else spelled it weird the way I wanted it spelled.
I think the plan is when you get to, on the rotation here for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream, when I get to Kyber, we'll probably see if we can't run together here for at least one show here, just to prove that I'm not the only person who can die in Dungeons and Dragons Online, but I'm kidding. So.
If you can find the name of my human artificer from our show, which is pretty much the only Maze Arcana show that I've been on as a player, if you can find that one, the name of that artificer is the name of the artificer that I have in game.
Well,
no, I'm not going to tell him.
No, I'm not going to tell him that. But what's it called?
Well,
because it was mine. I ran out of Dungeon Mastered it.
I know, but if you tell them what it is, they know exactly where to go.
Oh, nice.
Average Nation.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to flip around one of the questions that Thimbles asked a little bit, and that is, based on your pen and paper tabletop experience with Orphan Echo, what would you like to see in DDO from Orphan Echo?
Kalishtar, Scions.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty much it, because I want to play me.
Well, I mean, I think we have a couple of continents we could probably snipe in there, here and there, but that would be a massive kind of endeavor, I think. We could probably just start something small and pull in a couple of our characters and storyline things, and that would be fun. But if we were going to say something directly just missing from the books that are already there, I really like what you guys did with the airships. I think that they're sweet. I think you did a good job on those.
Oh my God.
All the extra stuff is
awesome.
I almost
peed my pants when we started out on an airship. It was like, ah!
Yeah, shifters maybe. So I know that we're missing Kalishtar and shifters in game, and I wouldn't mind seeing. I know tieflings are already heavily represented in Neverwinter, but I think that you guys like having them be from the venomous domain and being over there and then having a reason to come over. And also I'm interested to see how you guys might handle something like the Aasimar, like if you do it with the way that like Keith, because when our pal.
Fortunately, I'm losing a little bit of Skype here. Bandwidth.
And so he and I actually devised this whole thing about what an Aasimar would actually be in Eberron, because they don't typically have them. So is it something that comes from a manifest zone? Is it somebody who's just an actual person that's connected a little more tightly with with one of the divine beings that isn't, may or may not be there? So
you are going to be happy because we have got Aasimar coming.
Oh,
it's actually coming in our next update here, update 37. And for the audience in the room here, you will be previewing the Aasimar perhaps as soon as tonight on our public preview server. Assuming we can get it all up and running. We were hoping to get it up this afternoon. We have to do another quick build, so maybe
God, Kurt
tonight.
Is going to freak out.
I know. Stay tuned on social media and that. We will, of course, let you know when our Lamonia public preview server is open. But Aasimar is coming. You will see it perhaps even as soon as tonight. So.
Wow, I'm really interested to see what you guys write in as a backstory for that, because ours are.
Fortunately, I'm losing you just a bit.
Somebody who is very like a descendant of one of the saint-like people from Eberron. So If it's the Silver Flame, maybe it's Tira. If it's somebody in one of the divines from the other from this Sovereign Host, like there's just different people that were kind of founders and or like heavy influencers. Like that would be who an Aasimar is because they have more.
Yep. Well, I see us breaking up just a little bit. Fortunately, I think our Skype call is not being too friendly, so why don't I kind of head toward wrapping up this interview, and we'll promote one thing, which is we have got a DDO-related coupon that is going to be unveiled by you folks very soon here on Maze Arcana. So if you want to follow them on twitch.tv/MazeArcana, or what, Twitter and that too? I'm not quite sure. How would you like to get people to find your stuff?
Yeah, Twitter is just at excuse me, at Maze Arcana, and our Twitch is twitch.tv/MazeArcana. We also have 2 shows on twitch.tv/D&D, and those would be Tuesday and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Those are in Faerun. But if you guys are just hardcore Eberron, we're there every Sunday. And you can find us on there, too, because it's not like they've forgotten about Eberron. They still want it, and they still put it up on Sundays. They host us there as well. So, and I believe they could come right here to find us on Sundays at noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, yeah. We're going to be hosting the Maze Arcana Twitch feed over on DDO stream every Sunday, starting I usually go by Eastern time, so let's say 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific there. And that'll be cool as well. And yeah, so stay tuned. We do have our Mimic Hunt going on right now. It goes through October 8th. And you guys have a coupon that you're going to be doing a giveaway for to that, and you can find out more about that over on the Maze Arcana site. And as you mentioned, you do have other live streams on the Maze Arcana show. You can find the full schedule there, both Eberron and Forgotten Realms, along with some other things. We too have Forgotten Realms and DDO, so that's cool as well. Anything else I guess we should add? Just want to appreciate your time and stopping by for the show today. It's a very cool pen and paper thing, and we've been wanting to get a pen and paper stream on DDO stream for quite some time, and it just hasn't really worked out. So being able to get you guys on Sundays to kick off this whole pen and paper thing for us is going to be really, really cool. So.
Yay! Yeah, thanks for being so supportive. This is just something that we love so much, and to have another group of people we can talk to about it is really cool.
Yeah.
You guys can find us on Twitter. We are very vocal and love talking to the community. I'm at Satine Phoenix, and Rudy is at RutyWoot, RutyWoot. And say hi. Twitter at Maze Arcana is another way to get to us.
Yeah. Excellent. We can. We should probably just schedule another one. One of these that is not a day after one of our shows. If we can figure that out.
But we can play. I want to play.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Can I level faster? Because that's what I really want to do.
You got your experience bonus potion from our first stream. So if you guys have been watching on the first stream, they gave us. Somebody's too busy. We gave out an experience potion that you guys crafted for us. Maybe we can do another one of those here in a little bit. But outside of that one, like you said, we do have a coupon coming out for something special. And that is just the beginning, because we're already talking to you guys about doing some things that the chat may have already suggested that we won't spoil for now.
Yeah.
We'll just let them question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I look forward to hopefully talking to you guys quite a bit in the future. Excellent work. Thank you for doing Orphan Echo and Maze Arcana, and we will talk to you guys again soon.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Bye, buddy.
Excellent. All right. Let me head back to the DDO client. Thanks for being patient during some of the technical difficulties there. Unfortunately, it looks like when you try to stream to 3 different social networks and maintain a Skype call and maintain XSplit on one computer, perhaps that is my problem. I'm going to be heading in game on Thelanis here in just a little bit. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. All right, so I'm going to be heading to Atlantis in a little bit, but let me go with the news. As I said just a little bit ago, Lamonia. We have been working to get Lamonia up for about the past 48 hours. Unfortunately, we've run into a few technical difficulties with it. Our first effort, we had an issue where non-admins couldn't get the Vistani knife fighter, which is also going to be previewed here on Lamonia. Now we've solved that issue, but unfortunately we had to do a rebuild just due to kind of technical things. We were getting some strange asserts, if you were a dev and know what that means. So we wanted to do a rebuild. So we're currently doing that this afternoon, and if everything falls into place, then we should be good to go live with Lamonia sometime, let's say mid-evening Eastern time, perhaps even a little bit into late evening Eastern time. If something else goes wrong and we have to do yet another rebuild or something like that, then we'll probably push Lamonia off until tomorrow afternoon or something of that nature. And if that happens, then we'll just kind of keep you up to date. So if you are as excited as we are to check out Lamonia here with update 36 patch 3? Yes, patch 3, I think. Stay tuned on social media in particular. We are going to have all that information for you, and we'll get that info to you as soon as possible. But, yes, it is going to be the ASMR, the Vistani, and some of the cosmetics that you will find out more about real soon. Let me move over my frame just so I can see what's going on. What is the planned date for patch 3 to hit? Not yet. We haven't yet announced a release date for patch 3. It's going to hopefully go onto Lamonia, like I said, as soon as today or maybe even tomorrow. And then it'll be a little bit of time before we release it live, assuming everything works out. I would target around the middle-ish of October, most likely, and we'll have more information as we get closer to that. Cost for the races and classes. We're not yet ready to say, but I will say this in regard to the Vistani Knife Fighter. It is going to be earnable per character through favor. Ravenloft favor. It's going to be available at a later time for DDO points in the DDO store, and it is going to be in some of the packages for Ravenloft, which is our next expansion coming up real soon here. So that's I could say that about the Vistani Knife Fighter. We want to be real upfront about that. That's how you're going to be able to earn or buy it. And ASMR will have more info soon. I don't want to commit. I think, well, I could. Well, I better not commit us quite yet. Let us do like kind of some of this harbor stuff. Let's do Butcher's Path and Dirks. See if I can get a Muckbane, perhaps, among other things. Alright, so that's the first thing. The second thing I could mention here is that if you've been paying attention, we did have downtime today, and that downtime was to allow us to release a hotfix. I can go over the hotfix notes if we need to later on today, but you can just find a link to that over on the DDO forums. Predominantly, the hotfix was related to the Mimic Hunt. We've done a few things to make the Mimic Hunt less difficult. There was a bug where the CR of the mimics were frankly too high, and some of their attacks were too high. So we've basically nerfed the mimics fairly significantly. And so hopefully that should be a much more pleasant experience. The idea of the Mimic Hunt was never to be some kind of super challenge. It's really supposed to be more fun than difficult. And so that, hopefully we were closer to that now. The other thing with the Mimic Hunt is... I guess let me actually call up my own notes. I'll actually call up the notes in a second, make sure I've got all my info straight. But we did do a little bit of work on the Mimic Hunt outside of that as well. Oh, we fixed an issue where sometimes they were showing up as animated armor, which was particularly bizarre. But that should no longer be the case. That's the one I was thinking of. I knew there was something. Have the domains all been fixed? No, we weren't able to get the domain. There's a couple of bugs on domains. We weren't able to get that in time for the hotfix. And the reason we weren't able to get that in time is we wanted to make sure that we got this Mimic Hunt stuff done while there was still a Mimic Hunt going on. And in order to do that, we just didn't have time to get the domain stuff in yet. That'll be coming soon, though. I will double check to see if perhaps we can get that into 36 patch 3. But if not, it'll be coming, you know, not too far after that. Sorry, let me call up Chrome. Alright, yeah, so we lowered the stacks on the Mimic Hunt, reduced their hit points by 20%, physical damage by 20%, fixed an issue where Acid Slobber was too difficult on Hard and Elite, nerfed the CR of the Mimics, fixed an issue with the animated armor, and only lowered the amount of Acid Slobber you'd see on normal. That's the Mimic Hunt. Otherwise, we did a minor spelling error. We did fix the description of the Elite and Epic Elite Quivers of Poison, and we also nerfed the Abishai from the Trials of the Archons quests. They were frankly just a little too difficult, as anyone who isn't a reflex person will be well aware. So that's what we have in the hotfix here. Like I said, most of it was just stuff that we had. We needed to make sure we got the Mimic Hunt stuff in first. And then take care of the rest as we can. So stay tuned for that. I do want to thank again also the Maze Arcana peeps. Hopefully we can be doing a bunch more stuff with them in the near future. So, okay, I got Lamonia. I've got the hotfix. As you saw from last weekend's show, we have got a logo for Mists of Ravenloft, and we have released the title then, which is Mists of Ravenloft. We're getting close. I mean, clearly we're getting close, right? We're almost there. We can't wait. We're almost ready. Almost ready to really just pop open the doors on Ravenloft here, but it's not quite there yet. Soon. No pre-order date to announce. Thank you for nerfing the Abishai. See, I kind of liked it. They were ridiculously difficult, but I tend to be one of those people that don't mind sometimes when there's like an exceptional challenge. You know, I liked the old Shantakor. I liked that the Abishai were really tough to kill, but they were exceptionally difficult to kill. Much higher than all their brethren at similar CR, so that's why we did it. Someone on the forums had said we also need to make sure we do that same work for... I can't think of the name of the pack right now. The Grim and Barrett, that sort of thing. That's correct. We're going to have to follow up on that, but I can't think about what... The name of the pack is skipping my brain right now. Sorry. Any plans to make Argo the default server? Not really. I don't think Argo would be a likely candidate for the default server anytime soon. people tend to like I've said this before, people tend to perhaps think that being a default server means more than it actually does. Most people, when they join to play DDO, know what server they're going to be on because they're on the server their friends are on. It's pretty rare, actually, that we have someone who doesn't have a server in mind, and then, when going through the list, also picks the default server. It's actually a pretty small percentage of people. But there are a few people. It does help a little bit. So, I think we're still on Orion, right? And we'll be doing, we can take a look at that, possibly for patch or Ravenloft or something, if we need to. Well, I never defeat the Trog. I don't know why. So I hope you've been enjoying the Mimic Hunt. I know that, you know, we have had largely positive feedback now, especially now that hopefully we've taken care of this difficulty issue. I would point out that the Mimic Hunt will be... I actually, you know, let me back up here. I'm not sure that people really got the message on this, and I think that that's our fault for not making it clear. But the intention of the Mimic Hunt is to bring it back semi-regularly, perhaps something like quarterly. Almost be for those Lord of the Rings Online players as well, if you are familiar with Hobnanigans, which is sort of a recurring Lotro event. We're kind of envisioning the Mimic Hunt to be the DDO equivalent of Hobnanigans. So, for those who feel like maybe it's a little too grindy for the reward, I would encourage you to perhaps remember that it has a fairly small loot list, and that it's supposed to be coming back about every 2 to 3 months, something like that. So I think the intention in the design was to perhaps account for that. That said, we have been getting a lot of feedback suggesting that we perhaps lower the token turn-in requirement for some of the items, and that's something we've been considering. Nothing to announce about that, but it's something we've been considering. But the reason I bring it up is I worry that some people are perhaps you know, freaking out trying to get as many tokens as they can right now, assuming that this is their one chance in the next year or whatever to get the Mimic Hunt stuff. And the intention is actually to have it return fairly regularly. So... We might someday have a wider reward list, but it's going to be a while. So, you know, I worry that if you're like, I engaged in specific tactics that I'm not going to spread the word about on the live stream to get all of your items in a short period of time, you're going to be one of the first people on the forums and that saying, oh, it's come, I've got everything. It's useless. Why bring it back? Well... Just saying. We know what you're doing. Was there a reason we took out the Mimic Frenzy? Yes and no. We're not opposed to perhaps bringing the Frenzy back in the future as well. If we did, we would probably not adjust the tokens required for items. But ultimately why it wasn't done is when we went to update the Mimic Hunt, we had heard a lot of feedback about some of the poor feedback that people get, you know, knowing whether the frenzy was available and all that sort of thing. And we just ran out of time to address that stuff. So we ended up not doing the frenzy this time around. But it wasn't something like, we hate the frenzy and we're never going to bring it back. We might. But it's not available for this time around. It was kind of designed around not having a frenzy this time. But perhaps we'll see it again. Speaking of which, speaking of abusing quests for pets, no, I'm kidding here, but you may notice I have Platinado, my platinum creeping coin creature companion. The way I did it was frankly a lot of Irestone, and some Vaughn 2 stuff. The idea, someone said, can we have a guild alliance? It's something that has come up in the community fairly regularly, that it would be nice to be able to have more than one guild sort of allied together, generally for chatting, which I mean, I understand the idea of a guild alliance, but I'm not really quite sure practically what the benefit of it would be. Because, for example, if you think about it, you can create your own chat channel, so you can have a group chat channel between multiple guilds. You can invite people to each other's airships just by right-clicking in that right now, so you wouldn't really need an alliance for that. I guess I'm not 100% sure quite what the functionality of having a guild alliance would be that would justify the work that would be involved to allow it. But it's a cool idea.
It quivers as you approach, perhaps in anticipation.
Does Platinado do a Sharknado trick move? Sort of. That's kind of the way I've been picturing it. Sharing of ship buffs. Well, you can already basically do that just by having one airship and inviting everyone to it. Oh, am I obligated to heal Bloodpike? Yeah, I should. There we go. Sorry, bud.
A faint vibration passes through the floor.
I am not paying as much attention as I should.
The troglodyte henchmen have been slain.
Do chests which you open but don't loot count into the spawn chance for mimics in order to get them more than 4 times? I believe so, because the flag is done when you open the chest. So even if you didn't loot, you would still have opened the chest. So pretty sure the answer is yes.
This room stinks a little less than the rest of this complex. It's probably marked.
I mean, the other thing is we live in a world of, you know, Discord and TeamSpeak and all that sort of thing. So to some extent, you know, any work that we would have, it would be a lot of work to do this stuff, and maybe we should, you know, rather than trying to out Discord or something, you should just use Discord, you know?
The rear section of the sewer has been opened.
Boot.
Got it up the trap, huh?
There's a trap there. That's an odd opinion. Maybe. Just checking up on chat. I did think the chests were supposed to reset after a DDO 18-hour day had gone by, but I'm still getting you've looted this chest too many times to get a mimic notice. It works the same way as chest ransack. So that is, I believe, an 18-hour period per loot of the chest. So you're looking in terms of if you've really gone all the way to full ransack on a chest, it's about a week before you can loot it again. Yeah, chest ransack is 7 days. Mm-hmm. Okay. Would I ever consider running permadeath on the live stream? That would be one short live stream. No, I could. That's not a terrible idea. I'd actually start taking this game, taking it more seriously and seriously trying not to die. Could. But yeah, if there's enough interest in it, I suppose I could, do something like that maybe. Alright, garrisons. Will there be a half-orc deity soon? I've not heard of plans to do that. It's not a bad idea, though.
Be careful down there.
We have not considered extending the mimic hunt, really for two reasons. One, this is intended to be something that returns regularly. So, it'll be back in a couple months. Two, unfortunately, when we closed the... I don't know if you could call it an exploit of the Stormreaver's Fresco, abusing of in-game mechanics for Stormreaver's Fresco. People found other ways. So we have a little bit of direct exploiting going on in the Mimic Hunt right now. So I think we would probably not want to extend it until we correct that. The idea of gems is really just plat fodder. So, we could devise a system that would open up gems for crafting and that, but that's just not really their intention. They're just little sparklies you get and sell. I will get to the weekend bonus here in just a second. Quineffel over on YouTube. You have a large gap in the summer of festivals since most are fall, winter, and spring. Correct. Yes, we are aware of that. At some point here, we're going to have a summer festival. We just have not been able to carve out the time to actually do that work. But someday. Someday. Yeah, I mean, a summer Furnia festival would be the most obvious answer. Because, Furnia, summer. But who knows? Will patch 3 give level 20 favored soul of the newer deities their DR feats? I will have to look into the status of that. I'm not aware of that bug. I'm sure QA is, however, if it's a thing. Yep, hopefully, Aaron, over on YouTube, you should no longer be one-shot by mimics as of today's patch. One of the things I'm trying to learn on this cleric now is to use up my turn on deads, because I'm getting a boost to damage with all weapons from using it, but I just forget to use turn on dead during fights. It's something I need to train my fingers to do. Will guild augments ever come back? No. We have no plans to bring back guild augments. We replaced guild augments with regular augments and the guild airship buffs. And we were actually at one point going to completely remove guild augments from the game, but then enough people were like, well, I want to still have them on my old, now, 7-8-year-old armor. And so we're like, alright, well, if you want to. But they're essentially a deprecated part of the game, officially. There's no plans to expand or bring them back in any meaningful way. That's true. I think we would have a question about whether or not any kind of new festival would be a Forgotten Realms or Eberron festival, or perhaps some kind of agnostic setting festival, or perhaps one on either side. And I think that that's something we would have to take a look at. Are Shard Seal scroll items deprecated? I wouldn't say deprecated. They could, I mean, they still exist as items, and you can choose if you like the item to utilize it. But they are not a system we plan to continue to use for anything new, for sure. Any plans to consolidate the old item crafting systems? No. They are deliberately their own systems for their own pieces of content. I know some people would kind of like a one system for every item upgrade in the game, but it's just not going to happen, nor would it be something we would want to do. Is it true the refinement we made in this Lamonia patch to reincarnation eliminates the TR cache completely? That is not true. I don't know where you got that info, but no. What we're doing for the patch here, that'll be on Lamonia as well, we are working to try to resolve this TR system. And what it's going to be is essentially bulletproofing the existing process, rather than, say, completely rebuilding, which we had thought about at one point, but ultimately decided to just bulletproof the existing system. Largely because people hate, but love, the TR cache. So hopefully, with the patch on Lamonia here, we're going to resolve the rare situation where items are lost on true reincarnation or racial reincarnation that we see. Hopefully that'll be a thing of the past. That's the intention. The challenge, of course, is we don't really have a great... We've never had great repro on this. We've never been able to consistently repro the TR cache issue. Not that we don't believe it's happening, but we haven't been able to repro it. And so that's kind of led to a situation where we believe we are resolving it, and that resolution is largely through a bulletproofing system. And hopefully that will prove true. and we'll see. You're right, Thimble, the short is losing your TR cache items, but that's true, it also can lose some stat skilled home bonuses, things like that. Basically, reincarnations that don't work correctly. Bullet resistant. Nothing is bulletproof. That's funny. Yes, weekend bonus. All right. The weekend bonus is an epic XP boost of 30% and a treasure hunter boost of plus 10. So a big treasure hunter boost, and for epic folks, a 30% epic XP boost. And then again, the Mimic Hunt does go through Sunday, being turned off on Monday morning as well. So those events are all going to be happening this weekend. Mimic Hunt, 30% epic XP, and plus 10 treasure hunters boost. That is a nice set of bonuses. All right. I know someone who bought Menace of the Underdark from the DDO market a couple weeks ago. They still have not gotten the expansion applied to their account. Should they just be patient? Make sure that they've sent in a ticket to account support, and account support should be able to do the work to apply that to their account. So make sure, Thimble, they've got an account in through help.standingstonegames.com. Make sure that ticket is sent to account support. Make sure they reply to the ticket so that CS knows that they need to respond. But if that's already been done, then yeah, it's just a matter of getting to it. It shouldn't take 2 weeks, though. Which is why I bring that up. Will we eventually add a third Druid enhancement tree or revamped Druid? Yes, we will eventually do that. I assume about the third enhancement tree, but I know we do have plans to update the Druid. No ETA to announce, but it's definitely something that we'd like to do. Where is the dev team on Paradise? I don't know. I've already talked about this numerous times, but the thing about Paradise is, right now we hear from a lot of people who would love to have pink and blue bears running around Eberron. But I have a feeling, were we to actually make that a reality, we would hear from a currently silent group of people who are like, why in the world are there pink and blue bears running around Eberron? That's terrible. What's wrong with you people? However, we could do gray, perhaps black, other kinds of colored bears, and that might work, but would that actually satisfy the people asking for bear dyes? And would it be worth doing all that work? But maybe. Alright, one quick look at YouTube. Okay, I asked the weekend bonus. Can't wait to see what ASMR looks like. They look awesome. Are there plans to allow us to add our own music for Bardic songs? No. It would be cool, but it's not on our agenda. You will find out more about the ASMR from previewing it on Lamonia, so I'm not going to get into word on racial stats and all that at this point. You will know soon enough, and let me actually get people to log into Lamonia by not answering that question right here. Also, I'm out of time, and that is it for the Weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Again, a quick shout out and thanks to Maze Arcana. That's twitch.tv/Maze Arcana. Orphan Echo is happening every Sunday starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Goes for about 3 to 4 hours. And we're going to be hosting that show on DDO Stream every Sunday from this point forward. You do want to check them out on Twitter. You do want to check them out on Twitch because they have a coupon they will be giving away that you might well be interested in. And hopefully we'll be seeing more from the Maze Arcana folks in the near future. I want to thank Rudy and Satine and the whole gang for being awesome and liking us, and we like them. And as long as we're all liking each other and everything's awesome, it seemed like a good fit. So, hope you're having fun. I'll be back on Friday, probably on Thelanis, maybe on Lamonia, probably on Thelanis, for Friday afternoon on Twitch. We do have shows all week long, so check out our schedule over on DDO Stream. Thanks, everyone. Have fun, and I will talk to you again soon.